Okay, so I'm going to do a tutorial about how to rig a character with Rigify, and I'm going to include some of the things that I've found. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give a shout out to this guy. I'm going to be doing some of the things he's doing as part of this my tutorial, and he did just this little bit. I will put this link in the low bar because I kind of believe in giving credit where credit is due. But the other thing I'm going to be showing you is this bone positioning guide. Now, I found this by doing Rigify bone placement in a regular old search, and Blender has some documentation about how to position the bones properly, especially the face, because the face is kind of the really big one. So, open that in a new tab. Open this one, new tab, and I think those are the ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control Plus to make these bigger, so we can kind of see where these things are supposed to be. Okay. Now the character I'm going to rig is this guy right here, Caleb. Character I'm mostly done with. I'm still kind of working on wrinkles for the clothes. These aren't great right now. Mostly done. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide his glasses because, yeah. Now what's going on here is I generated this character with Character Creator 3 back when, before I had Character Creator 4, and I put clothes on him, and I need him in a Rigify because I need to use the Blend AR tools works with the Rigify rig. This is for like motion capture and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this character and I'm going to get rid of the old armature and I'm going to put the new armature in, and then that's going to be his thing. So first thing I need to do is, if I just delete the armature, what's going to happen is he's in T-pose now, and he's going to go into more of an A pose where the arms are down. I'll show you what I mean, because I'm just going to briefly remove that. Okay, Control Z to get it back. But essentially what that does is removes the actual armature influence, and now you see the problem is that the clothes I made in T-pose because that's what I was given. So I probably should have done that in A pose. It's not a complete A pose, but anyway. So what I'm going to do first is I can apply the armature, except it's going to yell at me down here. It says modifier cannot be applied to a mesh with shape keys. Okay, so what shape keys? These are for like the mouth and things like that. I would really like to keep some of these, but I'm going to delete all of them because I need this to be. I probably should have had him in A pose when I modeled the clothes, but it's too late now. So that gets rid of the shape keys. So now I can get rid of the armature influence, and I do that by applying the armature. Okay, and now you see that the armature has disappeared, and now I can delete this old armature. Okay, and not have wacky stuff happen. Okay, that's a sock. That's a sock poking through here. I still got a couple little tiny things to tweak on the clothes, apparently. Sorry, I saw this over here. I thought this was the head of another armature. I'm like, where's that bone? Because there shouldn't be any other bones over here. Okay, so next thing I need to do is we probably could have been doing this before. I probably could have done this part before, but so I basically have all of these weights over here. Could I have done this before? No, I couldn't have. I take that last comment back. These weights apply to the old Character Creator armature, and since I just got rid of it and I'm going to replace that with a Rigify, I don't want these, so I got to delete all of those groups. Okay. Now what that does, cleans them all out. So now all the weights now apply to the new Rigify rig. Now, I suppose I could have left them in there. But the thing is, it's just extra information, and we don't need it. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide his hair because that's going to get a little bit in the way. Let's see here. I actually had to restart this tutorial here. Yeah, okay. So he's there is one slight little oddity here in that his shoes are actually his shoes, that the soles add a little bit to his height. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab everything. I'm going to move it up. I'm going to go G, Z. I'm going to slide everything up slightly. Like that. Now, ultimately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like delete the feet. Or I'm going to copy... Hold on. Did that get his eyes? It did. Okay. For a second there, I thought his eyes were empty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, when I'm done with all this, I'm going to make a copy of that mesh, and then I'll like delete everything that's under his clothes so that it doesn't accidentally poke through like this thing right over here and like right over here, because that can be a nightmare to actually get rid of. But for right now, let's see here. What do I want to do? We're going to press 1 on the number keypad to go into orthographic mode, and then I'm going to add an armature. That's an armature. Okay, and there it is. And then I'm going to scale this down like so until, the shoulders should maybe roughly be over here-ish. It's a little hard to tell, so if you have to, press Z and you can go into wireframe. Yeah. Okay. Now we got it there, and then I'm going to do 3 to turn it to the side. Yeah, and it's a little bit far forward. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do the rest of this in edit mode. But one thing I need to do is, because I've done the scale, that changes these over here. And if I don't apply the scale, then something's going to go wacky later on. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to say apply the scale, and that will change all these guys to 1. Okay? It can mess with some of the other, any other modifiers you try to apply is kind of what I'm getting at. Okay, so we're on our way. So I'm going to go object mode, edit mode. My mouse is being a little wacky and it's being a little jittery here. So if I try to press a button, sometimes it'll slide away from that. So if you see that, kind of ignore that. It's my mouse. It shouldn't apply to your mouse. Now I'm going to do 3 in the number keypad so I can go into orthographic mode again. I'm just going to grab a bunch of this. I'm going to move it backwards in Y. Oh, I left myself in normal mode while I was modeling earlier. And let's do median point so we can kind of see where the thing is. So I'm going to do GY. Okay, that'll move everything in the Y. I'm still going to need to move the face back a little bit more. That's fine. I'm going to do A to double tap A to clear out my selection. C for circle select. I'm going to move out on the mouse wheel so I can grab all this stuff. Maybe U2. Scroll in on the mouse wheel. Maybe grab this guy. And then do G, Y. Kind of slurred there. I was trying to say do and G at the same time. And then G, Z. You know what? I'm going to actually undo these two. G, Z. I'm going to have to mess with some of those, some of these guys back here. Close-ish. Close-ish. Grab this guy, and what I like to do is take a bone. I'm going to say Shift Snap, cursor to selected. You know what? I think I want to snap to the top of this guy. So Shift Snap, cursor to selected. Grab that guy. You know what? I think what I'm actually going to do is grab both of those guys and scale Y0. That'll kind of put them back together. And then I can sort of adjust them from there. There we go. Move it forward. Kind of the issue here is that if you don't have these at the right spot, you don't. At first, I thought maybe like the real bones are sort of in the back over there. So what we might want to. So what I thought when I first started doing Rigify was maybe you would want to put those bones there. You actually want them like in the middle of the area. Shift. You know what I'm going to do? Yeah. Shift snap, cursor to, or sorry, selection to cursor. There we go. Like, because in the real human body, like the bones are right over in here, but you kind of want to be able to turn the head in a natural way, and that it looks more natural if you do it this way, if it's right in the middle. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enable mirror mode right over here. I'm going to click this X, and then if I grab, well, let's double tap A so that this guy isn't selected anymore. I'm going to do L. Okay, now what that thing over there does, it'll move both things all at once. So let's go into side mode, side orthographic, GZ, GY. Okay, and you can tell which direction you're looking at by these little axes over here. Okay, so that's part of it. I'm going to go into front orthographic because the lips and the lip bones are actually not aligned. So solid. Yep. I'm just going to do GZ. You know what? Let's grab the chin as well. GZ. Move all of this down so it's right about there. GZ again. So I move this up. I'm going to do GY so he goes back. Grab the top of that guy, GY. Go back into ortho. L, 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 L. Back into ortho. G, Y. Now, actually, technically, I probably didn't need to do all of that because I do have the X the X mirroring. So yeah. All right. So Z wireframe. Gonna grab this guy right here. Yep. 3 G Y. Move it forward again till it's like kind of protruding over there. Grab this guy. G Shift X. Now Shift X means you can move it in both the Y and the Z at the same time without moving it in the X direction at all. I'm going to grab both of these. It takes a practiced eye to see that. These are the heads of these two bones, or tails. I'm a little unsure as to which one's which, but those two are right on top of each other. And what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm putting them, yeah, right in the corner there. So GX maybe about there. Okay. Click that. GY. And then GZ. Okay. Oh, looks like the ears aren't aligned in the front either. So 1 GX. Okay. GX. We're gonna have to do. Oh, I hit Z. Set X and hit Z. G Shift Z so that it doesn't move into Z and only in the X and the Y. Move that over to his ear. This is where we're going to start referring to that face guide. Okay, because the ears are supposed to go in a particular way. Move that in the X so it's like kind of over the ear. No, a little too far there. Let's go back into that face guide. So the ears, looks like there's supposed to be one there. This is like the ear lobe, I guess. Looks like there's supposed to be one going right about there. Okay. So this guy can go over here. This guy, ooh, okay. Got two right on top of each other again. Yep. And I'm going to move this guy over here. This guy looks like he's supposed to be kind of vertical. Move it in the X. This is one of the problems with 3D views is sometimes you move it in a way you think is right and it's actually moving slightly different. Okay, if you accidentally select the entire bone, go into C, circle select, do middle mouse button, and you can deselect everything except the head of that bone. G, Z, or tail of the bone. I never know which one's which. Alrighty. And then going back to our face guide over here, it looks like there's a bone that goes straight like that. Maybe not straight up, but up and forward. So that's this guy. Yeah. That. And then I think if we look at this right, there should be one right over about here. Okay, looks right-ish. I'm not super sure about the ears. I've never actually had to use the ears. And kind of the way you find out that you've done your armature wrong is you have problems in the animation later on. Oh, that's the wrong way to move that. G, Shift, Z, and put it right about there. A lot of little tweaking in here. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. All right, so let's grab the nose bones. It's gonna grab everything, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see here, and we want to grab this guy as well. Both of those guys. Okay, and then we're gonna do Z. Now, probably technically, we've got the mirror active, so I accidentally cleared out a bunch of my selection there. Something like this, so that situates over the nose. Okay, what else did I grab? Control Z, deselect that guy, then GZ, move these guys down. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. Shift X. Grab these two and that one. And we're going to do Shift GY. Yeah, GY. Okay, I missed something. Oh, these guys. You gotta be kidding me. Wireframe. C, circle select, grab. C, circle select. I'm gonna zoom in and grab all of these guys. Maybe not. There we go. GY. Move that back in. These guys are going to have to move. Definitely go back inwards a little bit. And GX outwards slightly. Okay, so now these bones, like what the heck are they? Where do we need them to go? For one thing, this part right here should be right at the corner of that mouth. And it actually has to be at the corner of that mouth. That's not something you can skimp on. So I'm going to do corner cursor to selected. I'm going to go Shift S, selection to cursor. There we go. I believe it to be the case that these actually have to be in the same spot. And I think these guys also have to be in the same spot. This one and this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our bone guide. And this guy. Let's see here. This goes up here. I believe that's these bones right here. Back to the bone guide. So there's the one right there. Yeah, just two bones. And this looks like it's just off of his, the corner of his eye over here. And what they're trying to show you is that this controls like this little group of muscles over here. So we kind of got to get those right, and these have to be in that kind of the right sort of pattern. So this bone right here should be kind of over here down near the thing. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to snap and do face selection, and G, and see, that will keep it kind of on the face. And then G, Z, G over here, kind of like that. Now I'm going to grab this guy again, shift snap, cursor to selected, and I believe this guy has to be exactly at that same spot. Let's come back over to our bone positioning guide. Yes, this. And what I want to see is that nose. Okay. Those guys. Yeah, there's the teeth. Okay. Yeah, this one right here is what I'm curious about. I'll put that there because I believe it's supposed to make like this thing underneath over here, and these control like these muscles over here, like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this set. I'm going to go into 1. I'm going to go G. Oh no, C. Circle select. Undo that guy. G, and we're going to move that over here. And we have to be a little bit careful with this because when you have the you gotta undo the snapping here. Kind of what you have to do is when you have those eyelashes there, you don't want to snap to the eyelashes. You want to snap to the actual body. So you see how these guys snapped over here, the eyelash. So I want to move that over to the actual lower lid, not the eyelash itself. Oh. Yeah, and these guys need to move inwards a little bit. Okay. And this is a little bit tweaky, unfortunately. And a lot of times people don't like to tweak when they're modeling or they're doing stuff. We need both of those. C. Nope, do not delete those. There we go. Solid. You know what, I'm going to re-enable this snapping so it doesn't sink into the face like that. There's the corner. Okay. And disable snapping. Wireframe. Grab this guy. G. Put this guy over here. This guy should go over here. By the way, if you hold down the Shift key, it'll give you finer control over all these guys. That's kind of what I'm doing is when I'm moving them, I'm holding down the Shift key. Okay, so this should come forward till it's sort of resting on top of the eyelid. Now, this is where our bone positioning guide comes in again. Let's do wireframe, because what he was trying to show you was that there's a certain thing that should happen with the eyes. Where is that? Yeah, right over here. Let's open this in a new tab again, and Control plus 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 plus. So the eyelids and this brow and the cheekbone down here. Aha, that's where that nose is supposed to be. I think I have that in about the right spot. These should all be approximately in line. Not exactly, but approximately. So we should have this guy over here-ish. Let's see here. This guy, is he on top of the... Face on. snap. There we go. Okay, it's a little bit better. Still got a long way to go. At least on the face. This is one of the other reasons why I wanted to bring that guide up, is so that we know where to put the jawline. So one of them is immediately under here. So we got 1 bone, 2 bones, 3 bones. 1 bones, 2 bones, 3 bones. So it looks like this bone right here is just about where that ear is. So this guy, that's your jaw pivot. Should go right about there. This guy, and it says it should be up at his temple. I believe this to be okay. Let's move up. But I believe that to be okay. Okay, we're on our way. Let's see, your next thing. These guys. So Z material. No. Wireframe. Yeah, now we've got the upper brow. So there's the brow over here. And then we've got these also kind of comprise a brow. Now this bugged me because I thought those were like the actual eyebrows. They actually go just under the brow. Apparently this has problems snapping if it's more than one thing. More than one bone. And, you know, I don't blame it. Computers, they try to do their best, but they can only do so much with the silly things that humans give them. Silly input that humans give them. Okay. Let's go back to our bone positioning guide. So these, like I said, these are like those upper brow. They go actually kind of on the brow. The lower brow goes under here. So brow bottom and brow bones. Okay. Back to our model. And again, like these bones should be somewhat aligned. Okay. Okay, that looks decent, I think. It's always a little bit weird with those because it's like controlling. Oh, you know what? Looks like that guy can come down a little bit. Let's put him up here. Now that I see that, yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so these guys, I'm gonna do Z, grab the wireframe because we have these other bones that aren't still. These need to be like the same spots. So these all need to transform together. Okay, something. What happened? Oh, those are the eyes. Sorry, this one over here and this one right over here. Those are the eyes. So I think, okay. I thought there was a bone missing there. Ha! Okay, better. Solid. We want to move this one over. Come on. Like that. And then this one, we have 3 bones all sitting on top of each other right there. So. Okay. And then this can come down here. This can come down here. And this can come down here. Okay. That looks a lot better. I'm going to save this as... So I'm a little paranoid about things. I always like to have my model saved, and I tell myself what I'm doing. So Rigify. I have my caps lock on there. Boom. Okay, that's like the most intensive part. The rest of this is going to be trying to get these things in the right spot. So now, the face is by far the hardest one to do. Then what we need to do is like this clavicle bone, and then like the spine needs to be in the right spot. Now, one thing you want to make sure is you have a little bit of bend in some of your like elbows and your elbows and your and knees. I'll explain why in a second. In the meantime, I'm going to turn off this shirt because I want to see where on his arm the elbow should go. Because the skeleton is in A pose, and the character is not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of grab this and go hold down Alt in order to do like a circle select, Shift Alt and grab that, and I'm going to do Shift Alt and grab that stuff. Shift Snap, cursor to selected. I'm a big fan of snapping because kind of make sure things get right-ish. No, not material preview, wireframe. Now, one difficulty you can run into is with the roll of these bones, and that's going to be a problem. Rotate. No, don't want to rotate there. Yeah, let's grab the wrist. Okay, C, sorry, not Z. I'm just going to copy all of this stuff, look at it from 1, and I'm going to do G, Shift Y to move it only in the X. You can see that my mouse went all jittery again there. G, Y. There we go. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Shift Snap, cursor to selected, and then look at this from the front. C, grab all of this stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to rotate around the cursor or about Y. So that will help clean some things up. Now let's see here. I was just jawing on about the bend in the arms, and I forgot to talk about why. Later on, when we apply this, there's going to be something that's called the elbow target, and it'll basically put another thing right over here. And if this is too straight, then the thing cannot figure out where to put that pole target properly. So you want to make sure you have at least a little bit of bend in your arm, which is sometimes hard to do, but yeah, that should be good for the shoulder and for the arm. Okay, and let's see. The roll on the bone here is 86 degrees. Let's see what happens if we come back up to 86 degrees over here and back down to 86 degrees over here. Boom. Yeah, those look much more in line now. Yippee. Now, one of the reasons why that's important is because later on, when we have our bones over here, these guys will have all of their own little orientations, and we got to have the X, Y, and Z orientations done right. Otherwise, when you try to curl the fingers, you can end up with two of the fingers curling in one direction and the other fingers curling backwards in a very unnatural looking way. So that's kind of important to have all these things done right. Now I'm going to do Shift Snap, cursor to selected, grab all of these guys, rotate out like that. and then rotate up. And yeah, we gotta. There are ways of finding that. There's shoot. There's an option in here for all of your skeletons. We'll find that in a little bit. Bone collections AA. Samples. Yeah. There's an option to figure out where those are supposed to go. But for right now, let's just carry on. I'm going to grab all of these. L to select all of them. I'm going to move that something like this. And then I'm going to grab this guy and I'm going to move him all the way out here to the edge. And then here, something like in there. Over here, something. This one's a little weird. I've always found this part a little weird because it's like, that looks like the knuckle is right over here. Okay, now let's look at it from front. And this is where things get a little weird. So I'm going to put this back in solid mode. And then I'm going to go, probably should have done this at the beginning. We're going to go to viewport display and we're going to do in front. Yeah, see the thumb gets a little weird, because it's oriented sort of perpendicular to the other bones over here. So we're going to try to do our best to get that nice and juicy. Yeah, nice and aligned. Okay. Now, fingers are always one of those spots, trouble spots for me. So I'm going to tab out of edit mode. I'm going to grab these guys. I'm going to grab these faces right about here. I should be in face select mode, and somehow I got myself in. I think I put myself in wire select mode. Shift snap cursor to selected. Okay. See, unselect all those. Shift snap cursor to selected. Down here. Down here. There we go. Okay, and then back into solid mode. Back to our skeleton. Yeah, this part gets really tweaky. And so what I usually like to do is shift snap. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, let's look at the roll. Copy. Shift snap, selection to cursor, and then we're going to remember what that roll was. I'm going to come over here, highlight that ring, shift snap, cursor to selected. There we go. And back over to here, give me this. Just that bone, shift snap, selection to cursor. Okay, now we're going to remember what that roll was. 113. Oops. I believe it was. Maybe not. What's that roll? 137. I believe this is supposed to be straight up and down like this. So we're going to try that. Now, there used to be a thing where you could see like all of the individual axes, and now I'm blanking on how to actually find that. Yeah, x-axis mirror, because you want the axes to be in a certain way. Move this in Y. Selection to cursor. 7. Yeah, and see, this roll got messed up again. So let's try to put it right about there. Okay. And basically, the reason why you want the thing to be oriented properly is because if you don't, then the whole bone, when it rotates, can curl the fingers really unnatural way. Put this guy right over here. I'm going to manually align them. What I'm doing is I'm looking at this little face over here. It should go right about there. Okay. And then look at it from the side. And again, we actually want this to be down a little bit. We want this to be sort of in the middle of a meat tube. I used to think that it was a better idea to have it in like where the bones are. If you look at your own finger, you can sort of feel that there's a more of a bony part on the top of the finger, a more fleshy part on the bottom, and that just has not worked out for me. So I've moved away from that paradigm. Now maybe somebody else can suggest a better way to do that. And yeah, that's the wrong bone. That's the right bone that I want. Let's do, come on, just that one. There we go. Selection to cursor. And then let me grab the faces this time. Well, let's try actually selecting all of these and then snap cursor to selected. That's probably a better way of doing it. Grab this guy, shift snap, selection to cursor, yes. Okay. No, not that. Come on. It tried to shift my language there for some reason. I think I'm hitting the Win and Shift or something like that. And that's shifting the language. Shift snap, cursor to selected. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Back over to here. Shift snap, selection to cursor. And you see how the bones are getting sort of like rolling, getting a little messed up over here. So let's try to roll these. Why are you rolling that one? I'm going to roll this guy. Okie dokie. That's kind of weird. Okay. Now he's doing that guy. Alright, now this guy and this guy. Takes a practice die to see that those are there. I'm going to move these in GZ and I'm going to move that here. Look at it from 1. This is where things get really hard to see. So I'm going to do L and L, and I'm going to hide these guys. And those are the wrong ones to hide. Control Z, L that one, L this one, hide those. LL, hide, just so they don't like kind of get in the way over here. Because it looks like this guy needs to move down a little bit. GZ. There, that's better. And we're going to roll this guy like that. Okay, Alt-H to unhide. This guy looks a little weird, so I'm going to go GY. It's going to slide him this way a little bit. Okay. Well, no time to tarry. So let's try doing this guy, and whoa. Double tap A to unselect everything. Cursor to selected. Tap that. Come down here. Give me just this bone part. Selection to cursor. It's about to do cursor to selected, and I don't think that's what I wanted to do. So C. Let's just grab these guys. Okay. C. I'm going to shrink that in there so I don't get the ones sort of under the cuticle there. Shift snap, cursor to selected. Back over to this guy. Grab just the head. Wrong one. Just the head, tail. I never know which. Boom. Grab the roll, 7, and roll it back. So it's right about there. Back to this guy. Grab this loop and this loop. So I'm holding Alt and then Shift to select the other one. So Shift S, Shift and Alt. Select the other one, and then we do that. Back over here, just grab that part, Shift and selection to cursor. Grab the bone and roll it here. I'm trying to keep the values consistent with some of the other values I'm seeing. It's really hard to know which one is which, though. And I very well could be getting this wrong. Alright, tab out of that, grab that. Wireframe, grab both of these guys. Right, that's not the right one. I want the armature. C edge, C select, grab those, and I'm trying to align it to this bone over here, this little set of faces over here. So something like that. Yeah. Maybe a little bit in Y. And maybe a lot in Z, because that looks kind of funky. There we go. Grab that. 7 to look at it from above. 7 on the keypad. Okay. And we got one more finger to do. And then good news is that because we did this with the double tap A, because we did this with the mirror, that's automatically done on the other hand as well. Like that. So, just one more finger to go. Shift snap, cursor to selected. Get out of that, grab this guy. Shift snap, selection to cursor, tab, grab this guy. Double tap A to deselect everything. Alt to select that loop. Shift Alt to select that loop. Shift snap, cursor to selected. Shift snap, cursor selection to cursor. Selection to cursor, yes. Go into 7, and I'm going to try to roll it back around like that. Tab. Shift snap, cursor selected. Shift snap, and selection to cursor. And believe it or not, we're not terribly far away from being done. And then here, Z, wireframe, grab double tap A to get rid of everything. Go to C, not X. I accidentally hit X instead of C. G, Z, G, Shift Z. Come on. Come on. Z, I want both of these. There we go. G, Shift Z. I believe those actually do have to be in the same place. I read somewhere that weird animation artifacts can happen if they're not in the same place. There we go. Move that to right about there. I'm going to do Control 1 this time to see if I can look at it from the back side. Still a little bit wacky. There we go. Just to make sure. Yeah, that looks better. All right, let me look at this guy again. Hide. Control 3 and Control 1. Excuse me. You can look at it from the side. I'm going to grab these guys again. It looks like they need to come down a little bit. GZ. Okay. That's a little bit better. Alright, so now that we've got all those, we're going to look at it from the side. And the hips look like they're maybe about in the right place. Okay. So then the knees, let's disable the pants here for a second. The knees look like they need to come upwards a little bit so that they meet with the kneecap. 3, we need to make sure that there's a little bit of a bend in them. So then these guys can just come forward a little bit. G, and forward like that, and then I'm going to grab this bone and move it to over here. Yeah, there has to be a little bit of bend in this, just like the elbow, because otherwise it can't really find the thing properly. Now I think this guy has to move up, come over here, because if we go back to our handy dandy bone placement guide, yeah, that's where that guy's supposed to go. And right over here, this clavicle looks like it's supposed to be kind of right at the top up there. Yeah. Ish. And then I'm going to grab this guy, move him up over here. Alright. Now I think this spine did say it wanted a little bit of curvature in the spine, like over here. So, you know what? I'm going to default to what it says there. Okay, and bone positioning guide. I think we're good. I think this is about done. Yeah, the fingers. Yeah, now, so this is what I'm talking about. So there should be, what he's trying to do is he's trying to draw the positioning over here. This is like the Z-axis for each one of these bones. So finger axis roll can be easily consist by selecting all the finger bones and recalculating the bone rolls. So let's see if we can figure out how to do that. I thought there was a way to, okay, we're going to alt hide and grab all of the fingers. Now, got to figure out where that recalculate went. So there is a little bit of, I think there is a bit of a, there is a little bit of a, sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, and my thinking is getting in the way of my brain. I think there's a little bit of a difference between the Blender version that they wrote this for and the current Blender versions. So recalculate bone rolls. Global minus Z-axis. So armature. Where would that have been? Bone settings. Relations. I'm not seeing it. I know there's a way of doing it either in one of these things over here. Bone roll. Recalculate roll. Aha, there we go. Global minus Z-axis, it said. Boom. I thought there was a way to actually show what those rolls were. Get roll, set roll, clear roll. View axis. Maybe not. I think we missed that guy, but bone roll, calculate roll, global Z. So shift in, it said. Ow. Okay, I think it just wanted a view axis, not move things around. Anyway, that's one of the things you should be doing with that is recalculating that roll. Otherwise, things will go wacky. Okay. Oh, and they did say the thumb should be. Where is that? The thumb should be global plus y-axis. This is one of the things I was rambling on about with the rolls earlier on. Is these rolls have to be done right, otherwise, global plus y-axis, it said. And it looks like it did change in there a little bit. So, yeah, but if you don't have those done right, then things can go wacky later on. Like you'll try to grab all four things and rotate them, and like two of the fingers will bend backwards, which looks really freaky. Unless you're into that sort of thing, hey, I'm not here to judge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight. Oh right, the eyeballs and the teeth. We need to do those. So I'm going to grab all these face bones. And again, this does. I can't take credit for this. I'm going to follow another person's tutorial, and I'm going to link that in the low bar because he deserves credit for it. I'm going to hide all this junk because we got way too much junk over there. L, hide that junk. L, hide that junk. There we go. That makes it a little bit easier. Now the teeth are these two things right here. Okay, you can tell they're definitely not in the right position because our teeth are down here. So what I'm going to do is put this in that mode. Move these guys down here like that. Looks like the tongue's in the wrong position too. So I'm going to put that there. And then the eyeballs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his eye. Go out of edit mode. Grab his eye. Just his... Gosh darn it. I know, language, right? Hey, you never know when somebody else is listening who might have sensitive ears. I'm going to shift cursor to selected again. That wonderful little trick, and then I'm going to grab the... There we go. The skeleton, and then the eye bone. Eye bone. And then go cursor to... No, selection to cursor. And then what I need to do is I need to move the front of that eye to that eyeball. So I'm going to go to solid mode, and I'm going to grab the eyeball, and then we have these handy dandy four little things right here. Come here. There we go. Shift, snap, cursor to selected, tab, go back into the armature, grab just that tip of that eye bone, shift, snap, and then selection to cursor. There we go. All right, now, so one of the weird things about Rigify is for some reason the eyes and the teeth did not actually have what are called deformation bones. So essentially the eyes won't track properly unless you like parent the eyes to the thing itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to create deformation bones. So we're going to shift duplicate these guys. We're going to scale by individual origins upwards a little bit. Okay, and then let's see here. All the other deformation bones for our R, they have like this. They have this. Is this a deformation bone or is this a control bone? We'll find out in a second. We want to find the Rigify and not the bone collection. We're going to use this basic super copy thing. Yeah, but we're going to do that on these guys up here. I like to call these something different. So the eyeball itself, the eye bone here. Yeah, we're going to just leave that the way it is. But we're going to grab that guy and grab that guy. So it needs to be the original, the copied bone with the original. Sorry. No, not the copied. The new bone, the one that we just created, the copy, and then we hold down Shift. Gosh darn it! It's not grabbing the entire bone. See here, that one, and then the other one. That one, and then the other one. You have to have the original bone selected last. You say Control P, make parent Keep offset. I believe it's keep offset. Grab that bone, shift, hold down, grab the original bone, control P. Why will it not let us control P? Keep offset. Fine. Connect. No. No, that's not what I want to do. This guy. Does he already have a parent? He has a parent. He already has a parent. Okay. How did that happen? Maybe because I did it with the XY thing. Yeah, okay. So then grab the teeth copy, grab that, control parent, keep offset, because I got that X mirror. It's my best guess. Wait, did I do did I do that in the right order? I think I did. Control P. Yeah, okay. The outer one first, then the inner one, control P, keep offset, there we go. Now, for the new ones, we're going to do, click this, click that, there we go. Make sure we've got the bigger one, and then on our Rigify stuff down here, not the bone collections, not the viewport display, Rigify. Gosh darn it, too many frames in here. Sliding around all at once. We want basic super copy. Add sample, I think. And then we have to go through and we have to change something of the bone itself. It's a deformed bone. Okay. The outer one. Here we go. When we do basic super copy, something else is supposed to happen. Is this supposed to be in pose mode? Sometimes the mode you're in changes what things you have over here. Edit mode. Yeah, basic super copy. And then there's supposed to be a thing we have to click over there. Okay. Again, this may be because they changed something with the changed something with how the how Blender worked, like the Blender version issue. Oh, it's supposed to be basic super copy. No, just that one. I'm a little suspicious. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. There's supposed to be a spot here. Let me show you. So again, I'm like I said, I'm kind of borrowing from this guy's tutorial, and right over here, what he does is he does the basic super copy. Oh, this is under Rigify type. So what's he doing? He's under pose mode and the bone. Okay. By the way, that guy deserves all the credit here. So pose mode, and then this bone, and then not custom shape. Rig type. There we go. Basic super copy. That's what we needed. We don't want the control. Oh, please tell me I had the right bone. Yes, that's the right bone. And over here, that's our R. So then the control type again. Bone, inverse kinematics, no. Rigify type, basic super copy. And that is not going to be control. We do the same thing for the teeth, and then after that we should be done. Okay. If I type basic super copy, not a control, same thing for the teeth, bottom teeth. Yeah. Basic super copy and not a control. Okay. Alright. File, save it. No, I clicked save to incremental instead of save. Oops. Alright, let's turn the shirt and the pants back on. Okay. Okay. Now, the magic happens. We're going to click the, go back to object mode, I believe. Click that. And then grab our Rigify, and here's where we cross our fingers and hit generate rig. And it'll stop responding for a second. And then we've got our stuffs. Do we have our stuff in the right spot? Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to hide the meta rig. Wherever the heck the meta rig went. Hide the meta rig. Okay. And then because I moved the entire character up, I forgot to move the glasses up with him. That's something you can fix later. Okay. Now, let's see here. Looks good. Grab this guy. Go back over to the Rigify. There should be a... no, okay. I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed his vest. There should be a Rigify. IK bones. Big layers. Let's go over to pose mode. Now I'm not seeing the render targets for the pull targets for the knees. Is that it? Okay, foot IK. There's supposed to be a thing over here that says show the pull targets. Properties, no. We can check to see if the IK is working properly by grabbing that guy. Pull target on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Pull target on. Okay, now for the knees, they should be pointing straight out. And then for the elbows, let's grab the hand. Pull target on. Yes. And pull target on. Yes. Now, okay, something did go wrong because this should be right along his hand. Son of a gun. Okay, we're going to undo all this junk. And then we're going to try to recalculate the roll for these guys. Come over here. Come over there. Rigify. Armature. Bone roll. Armature. Bone roll. Recalculate roll. Global minus Z-axis, I think. Okay. Let's try all that again. Generate rig. Huh. Still rotated. I have to figure out why that is the way it is. Let's undo the rig. Grab the bone. Are these at the same spot? Okay. Again. Let's try playing around with that roll and seeing if it fixes anything. We'll just generate rig. No. Okay. This may be just... Okay, let's try this. Let's undo messing with that roll, and then, you know what, we're going to move the arm back and forth like this. G, Y, move this forward. Because this may be what I was telling everybody about, that if there's not enough bend there, things can go wacky. And it doesn't seem to have fixed it. Harumph. Rig ID. I've not seen that before. Interesting. Is it this roll? Let's try recalculating these with that bone roll. Maybe that was it. Generate rig. Don't think that fixed it. For some reason, the hand IK is twisted relative to the let's try rolling this backwards like that. There we go. I'm not entirely certain why that happened. I'm not happy that I had to tweak that after I did this. Oh, looks like this guy still also needs to be tweaked over here. What was the other one? 270? The other one was minus 270. Hopefully it didn't rotate this guy along with it, because I don't know the... Yeah. It looks like there's another bone in there, and it looks like if you don't have those right, then the IK goes weird. So these are like really important bones here, because they're the IK bones. Looks like there are two bones right on top of each other down here. Betcha. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I'll show you what, for anybody not familiar with IK, I'm going to show you why those are important. Turn on the bold target, and when we do this, now I haven't parented the mesh to the thing yet. So when we move this like that, so this kind of controls where the knee is pointed at. Okay, so we're going to grab this guy and G, and so then you can sort of see the bones in there and how that does that. Now let's grab all of the finger bones in here. Let's make sure this works right. So if I rotate those around Y, yeah, they all curl in the same direction. One of my characters, I messed this up, and when I rotated about Y, the middle two fingers rotated backwards relative to everything else. Control Z. Okay, so that should about do it. That will. I mean, okay. I guess the last thing I could do is go into this. I'm going to grab this rig and move it up to my actual collection up here. The meta rig. What is this cube? Suddenly I don't know what that cube is. Okay, I will worry about that later on. And so then what we do is we're going to grab the body, the eye, the teeth, the tongue, cylinder. I really do need to actually give these better names here. The shirt, the vest. Oh, I know what those are. Those are the buttons on the vest. Okay, and I have those actually parented to a vertex I bet you I know what these guys are. This is probably the shoes. Yep. So let that be a lesson to you. Always give your things a meaningful name so you can remember them later. Void the cylinders, the shirt, the shoes, and the vest. Then grab the rig last of all. In object mode, please, computer. And control parent with automatic weights, and then you're gonna have to. One of the more difficult things is to actually get the weighting done correctly. But yeah, there we go. By the way, did meta rig on? Yeah, the meta rig's on. There we go. So now, we got the thing moving around. Yeah, see, this is that little thing going on there. That's the weights, and you got to do that offline. But that is a complete tutorial about how to do Rigify, including the eyeballs. Let's check to make sure that worked. Yep. And again, it looks like the eyelids look like they're moving with the thing, and I don't think we want that. So yeah. But anyway, that'll do it for today, and have a good one. And I will post more tutorials later. By the way, I do want to shout out this guy again, CG Dive. He's the one who had the original thing. He had that in a different tutorial from the rest of his Rigify. So what's different about mine? Well, I do everything all at once. I showed you these placement things, wherever that was, the placement. And I think I'm not monetized yet, so you don't have to slog through annoying commercials while you're watching this tutorial. So that's about it, and I will see everybody in the next time.